It's Friday, October 25th, and welcome to George Daniel Stadium. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Bacalar, along with my partner, Barry Buck, our cameraman, producer, and director, Joe Bach, and tonight it's the 10th week finale of high school football. The Southview Saints playing host to the Admiral King Admirals in an LEL Lake Division contest. Needless to say, the Southview Saints are 5-4 on the season, while the Admirals are 1-8. A win tonight for the Saints will give them their first winning season since 1980. A win for the Admirals will kind of put the icing on a dismal cake. Barry, how do you see this game sizing up? What with the rain that we've had falling since late this afternoon?
Well, I think the rain's going to change things. I think we would have seen a wide open game. I think the rain's going to slow some things down. It's going to be a contest record-wise run. We throw out the books. Last year we had the same scenario coming in. Southview had a chance for a winning season. When you have an inter-city rivalry, records don't count.
Absolutely. Well, let's get right to the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. Since we have two Lorain schools, we've got a lot of lineups to go through, and it's all being brought to you by Adelphia, the communications people with cable television, digital cable TV, PowerLink, the best absolute link to the internet, and long-distance telephone. So for all your communication needs, it's Adelphia. For the visiting team tonight, the Admiral King Admirals, coached by Bill Jones, starting on offense. At quarterback will be number 10, Jason Samaskovich, a 195-pound junior. At fullback, number 41, Lavelle Morris, a 240-pound senior. The two wingbacks, number 33, Julian Smith, a 160-pound junior, and number 35, Keith Wood, a 170-pound senior. Tight ends, number 80, Sergio Solis, a 200-pound junior, alternating with Brandon Phillips, number 87, a 210-pound sophomore. They'll be bringing the plays in from the bench and from Coach Bill Jones. The other tight end is number 90, Mike Meinhold, a 180-pound senior. On the offensive line for the Admirals, the center is number 65, Corey Turner, a 235-pound senior. And the two guards, number 52, Grant Logan, a 235-pound senior. Number 56, Tom Bennett, a 235-pound senior. And the two offensive tackles, number 72, Nick Washington, a 270-pound senior. And Delbert English, number 74, a 250-pound senior. Starting defensively now for the Admirals, at the two defensive tackles, number 50, Tony Hazlitt, a 210-pound junior, and number 74 going two ways, Delbert English. The two defensive ends, number 72, also going two ways, Nick Washington, the 270-pound senior, and number 58, Tyrone Cash, a 205-pound senior. The two inside linebackers, number 90 going two ways, Mike Meinhold, a 180-pound senior, and number 41, Lavelle Morris, also starting at fullback, a 240-pound senior. The two outside linebackers, number 35, Keith Wood, going two ways, a 170-pound senior, and number 80, Sergio Solis, a 200-pound junior, also going two ways. The two defensive backs, number 33, Julian Smith, a 160-pound junior, and number 31, Jason Van Wagenen, a 150-pound senior. And rounding out the starting 11 defensively for the Admirals, at safety, number 34, Desmond Carter, a 190-pound junior. So there you have the starting lineups for the Admirals, offensively and defensively. Now checking the starting 11 offensively for the host team tonight, the Southview Saints, coached by Tony Shoulders. Starting at quarterback will be number 20, Jason Messer, a senior. At the halfback position, number 23, Jeff Hughes, a senior. The two running backs, number 1, Sean Nixon, a senior. And number 88, a senior, William Overton. The two ends, number 21, Robert Wilson, a senior. And number 80, Adam Figueroa, a senior. On the offensive line for the Saints, the center is number 52, a senior, Eric Jimenez. The two guards, senior, number 66, Richard Robinette. and number 74, a senior, Gary Atkins. And the 2 tackles offensively, a senior, number 63, Josh Henderson, and number 67, a senior, Dante McGill. Since tonight is senior night for the Southview Saints, all the seniors will be honored, and Coach Shoulders is starting offensively all seniors for at least the first couple of plays. Now checking the defensive lineup, starting for the Saints. The 2 tackles are Jamel Miller, number 9, a senior, and Matt Vimpenny, number 69, a senior. The 2 defensive ends are number 53, a senior, John Stefanchik, and number 10, a senior, Angel Alvarado. The 2 inside linebackers are number 4, a senior, Mark Matos, and number 56, Derek Doan, a senior. The 2 outside linebackers, number 30, a senior, David Mercado, and number 6, a senior, Stanley Robinson. The 2 defensive corners are Adil Velez, number 85, a senior, and Terrence Dozier, number 81, a senior. And rounding out the starting 11 defensively, a senior at free safety, number 7, Mark Majoris. So here again, Tony Shoulders starting all seniors defensively. After the first couple of plays, he'll have some of the regulars coming in that have played throughout the entire season. And we'll be back with the opening kickoff and the start of tonight's ball game. The opening lineups brought to you by Adelphia, the communications people. Back right after this message.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on boats, cars, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 7 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, Port Clinton, and now at 36690 Detroit Road in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
Back here at George Daniel Stadium, as we indicated to you a moment ago, this is senior night for the Southview Saints, just like it was senior night last week for the Admirals of Lorain Admiral King High School. And as you can see down on the track, the senior football players with their parents, guardians, relatives, whoever the case might be, representing them and helping to honor them for having put in time and effort playing for the Saints of Southview High School. And as we indicated too in our discussion pregame, the Saints have quite a bit to play for tonight. The first winning season since 1980, which means that last time the Saints had a winning season, these young men were not even gleams in their potential father's eyes. So it's been a long, long time, 22 years. And they need the win tonight to make that possible for a 6-4 season. The Admirals, in the meantime, 1-8, would like to win as well, and kind of put a cap to the dismal season that they've had. But right now we are honoring the seniors of Lorain Southview High School as they come out onto the track area. You see our cameraman Joe Bach panning them, and a lot of the folks with the umbrellas because it is raining here in Lorain, Ohio on this Friday, October 25th. Kind of hard to make out who's who with the umbrellas, but I'm sure if they're watching, they'll be able to pick themselves out, and that's all that's important. In fact, not only are the senior football players being honored, but at this time, the senior band members are being recognized coming onto the track area. Needless to say, the starting lineups for the Southview Saints, as we've indicated, are all seniors on the offense and the defense. And just another touch of class by a real class coach, Tony Shoulders, giving the seniors that opportunity to start, many of them starting for the very first time in their career. And that, of course, will give them something to remember for a long, long time. Right now on the field, a retired wrestling coach and teacher at Southview. I think he's going to continue to coach, however. Dan Turnus giving a very special award to a couple of senior students from Southview. One appears to be a band member. Also down there in the area of Coach Turnus is Sean Nixon, number 1. Quarterback Jason Messer giving roses to apparently someone. Could it be his mom or? Well, there you have it. The seniors have been honored here prior to the start of tonight's football game. The senior band members, the senior football players, the senior soccer players, volleyball players, tennis players, girls tennis players, cross-country players, all of the fall sports, just like last week. The seniors have been honored, and we salute them for the time and the effort that they have put forth for their high school. Okay, we will be back again with the start of tonight's game right after this timeout.
You know, Lorain's a great town to live in and to raise a family. My name's Jim Smith, and I'm managing a history project all about growing up in Lorain. And behind me is a picture of downtown Lorain in the 50s. In 1953, the Lorain Chamber of Commerce produced a 16mm film all about Lorain. Now, we've transferred that to video. You can look back at Lorain 50 years ago at the low price of $25. In addition to the Lorain video, if you act now for that same $25, we'll include a copy of a sheriff's film produced in 1960 about the Lorain County Sheriff's Department. It's got good guys, it's got bad guys, it's got a holdup and a shootout, it even has a posse. Did you know they had a posse in 1960? Well, they did. And you can own this by calling the number on your screen, 233-2239, and order a copy. Make a great Christmas present. And if you get a recording, leave your phone number, leave your name, and we'll get back to you. Once again, you get both the Lorain film and the Sheriff's film for the same low price, just $25. So call now. That's 233-2239.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorain. During the toss of the coin, the Southview Saints won the toss. They elected to receive. They will be defending the south goal. The Admirals will kick off and defend the north goal. The officials for tonight's ball game: Brad Huntley is the referee. The umpire is Steve Anadel. Linesman is Derek Sanborn. The line judge is Tom Mathis, and the back judge is Tim Grivey. And we do have one correction to make for the Admiral King team. Jason Samaskovich will not be wearing his usual number 10 jersey tonight because after the Lakewood game, he had to have x-rays on his vertebrae and the doctor had to cut his jersey off. He is wearing number 6 tonight. So number 6 will be Jason Samaskovich, the quarterback for the Admirals. Number 6, by the way, was Craig Fitch's jersey from last year. Craig Fitch was the quarterback for the Admirals. Craig and Jason are second cousins.
Well, the reason we didn't have that problem last week is because King was at home and wore the dark jerseys. So they had to go to the away jerseys, and that's why they had to change numbers.
Kicking off for the Admirals will be Gareth Hannigan, kicking from his 40-yard line as the rain continues to fall here at George Daniel Stadium. And all season long, Barry, we have been sending kudos to the staff and all of the fine workers here under the direction of Kenny Clark for the outstanding condition of this field. This will really get the test tonight. And there's the kickoff. Heading to the far side, rolling towards the sideline, picked up by the Saints. And I do believe Marquell Miller on the far side. The ball will be spotted on about the 29-yard line where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Saints.
I think the Admirals could have used that kick last week. Yeah, and people are probably wondering, say, well, this is the last game of the year. What makes a difference if the field's torn up? We have some playoff games coming here, and if things go right, they have a real potential to have the Avon Lake Midview matchup here. That would be a great game to have here.
Oh, absolutely.
I think George Daniels Stadium would be filled again.
To capacity and then some. Well, actually, they got the ball on the 26-yard line. Sean Nixon in motion. Messer to pass, right up the middle and in and out of the hands and the grasp of the intended receiver, William Overton.
Ron, this is a total change from Southview's plan last week. They didn't have Jeff Hughes. Jason Messer hasn't thrown a touchdown pass all year. He threw 5 against Shaker Heights last Saturday. Sean Nixon didn't score a touchdown all year, scored 4 touchdowns.
William Overton and offensive guard Richard Robinette have come to the sideline.
Well, in case the people didn't hear the opening, Ron, Tony Shoulder started all seniors.
2nd down and 10 on the incomplete pass. Messer to pass again, and this time almost intercepted by Jason Van Wagenen.
I think that's a case where, Ron, I think if he'd have stepped in and tried to catch it versus trying to knock it down, he might have picked that off. Got his hand in there, and if he'd have stepped inside, that might have been 6 the other way. Southview's coming out winging the football.
On the incomplete pass, it's now 3rd down and 10. As you indicated, Jason Messer last week in that 46-18 victory had 5 touchdown passes and rushed for 1 touchdown himself. He was 13 for 22, 213 yards.
Well, there was a nice play. Everybody figured it was going to be the same play as before. That was number 1,
Sean Nixon.
Sean Nixon. That's a great call.
1st and 10 for the Southview Saints as they get out from a very crucial 10th down play with 3rd and 10, or 3rd down play, 3rd and 10.
It might be 10. You know, Ron, a night like this, field position is going to make a big difference. There's going to be turnovers. Ball's going to be loose on both sides.
1st and 10 for the Saints on their own 38-yard line. John Brown in motion. And the ball carrier is Jeff Hughes. Tackle made by Jason Van Wagenen.
Speaking of Jason Van Wagenen, we had a couple visitors in the press box earlier.
Yeah, his dad and his sister, the young lady who plays football for Lorain Middle School.
Said she wanted to meet us.
Well, wanted to meet you.
She said she enjoys both of our broadcasts. She said listens to them all the time. What a nice Jillian. What a nice little girl.
Yeah, Jillian not only playing football for Lorain Middle, but also one of the water girls for the Admiral King varsity football team. Messer looking to pass over to the far side, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was John Brown.
You know, Ron, for people that might be interested, this is the second of 3 Southview Admiral King games in successive days. The freshmen played yesterday in the stadium, and that game will be seen on Channel 20 sometime soon. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. 3, 3, and 8, as Joe tells us.
3 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. 3rd down and 6 for the Saints. Sean Nixon in motion. Messer pitches out to Jeff Hughes. Hughes with running room on the far side. Picks up the first down. He's to the 40. He's to the 30. He's going to be brought down as he crosses the 20-yard line on a touchdown-saving tackle.
At 80? I think Sergio Solis.
Sergio Solis making the tackle.
Ron, Southview's run 6 plays. They've run 4 passes and 2 runs. Both their runs have gotten more than the 10 yards they need. I think Tony might want to start putting the ball on the ground and leaving it there.
Well, apparently Jeff was knocked out of bounds just before getting across the 20 as they spot the ball on the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints. Early in the first quarter, 10 minutes and 23 seconds remaining. Clock was stopped because the ball carrier went out of bounds. Hughes in motion, coming near side. Messer passing. The intended receiver, Jeff Hughes, broken up in there by Sergio Solis.
Nice play. Ron, I was kidding Tim Alcorn yesterday. I told him that had the weather conditions been ideal, I told him I would call him on Saturday morning with the final score, because I figured we might be here all evening with these 2 teams scoring points like they have in the last couple weeks.
How did the freshman game come out?
Admiral King beat them 30-0. I think it was 30-0 halftime, then it was scoreless second half. There are some players on both teams. With the middle school talent and the 9th grade talent, there's some football to come in Lorain City Schools in the years to come.
Sean Nixon, the ball carrier, far side, tripped up. Did not get out of bounds before his knee hit the ground, so the clock continues to run.
That was a nice block by Brian Joyner. He cut down Keith Wood in the backfield, which allowed Nixon to turn the corner.
Gain of about 4 yards on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 for the Southview Saints. Ball is on the 17-yard line.
Southview also has the wind with them.
They've come through on the 3rd down play so far. Jeff Hughes coming near side, and he is brought down on the 15-yard line. Lavelle Morris making the tackle, and Tyrone Cash.
That was good, Phil. They read it right. They came down the line of scrimmage, slowed him down, and tackled him either behind the line or right at the line. So
it'll be 4th down for the Southview Saints. 4th and a short 5.
We had one of those yesterday, didn't we? Short 5 on the measurement. I was on a penalty. That's right.
Obviously, the Saints in 4th down territory. They're going for it. Nixon in motion. Messer looking to pass. Messer connects. And on the reception, Adam Figueroa, a 160-pound senior. It'll be 1st and goal for the Southview Saints. The ball just inside the 10-yard line.
Boy, Jason Messer adds another dimension to Southview. He runs outside. He gets outside the pocket, and he puts a real pressure on the defense. Is he going to run it? Is he going to throw it? I'm wondering if Tony Shoulders hadn't wished he'd have done this about 5 games ago.
Messer, a 170-pound senior for the season coming into this ball game. 39 completions for 81 passes, 525 yards, 5 interceptions, 5 touchdowns.
Oh, nice. Hey,
Sean Nixon, he's in the end zone, and we've got the Southview Saints on the scoreboard first.
Admiral King missed him in the backfield. They had him, and Nixon juked him and broke it to the outside. It was a nice move, and got the score. So he's gone from no touchdowns in 8 games to 5 in 2. I think Tony Shoulders wants to keep playing.
Eight minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Southview Saints will go for the 2 extra points. Messer under center, pitches to Hughes. Hughes looks for that opening. Hughes gets into the end zone for 2. So again, with 8:12 remaining in the first quarter, it's the Southview Saints 8, Admiral King nothing.
Ron, there's a sign of a good runner. He tried to pick his hole, and he didn't see a hole big enough to scoot in, so he just lowered his head and his shoulders and dove into the end zone for the 2 points. That's good running right there. You only need 3 yards. I think that's the first of a few touchdowns we're going to see this evening.
Well, it's going to be the Admirals' turn now to go on offense as they'll take the kickoff.
Oh, here's the instant replay. You see Jeff turning, lowering his shoulder, getting through, carrying him into the end zone. Joe Bach with the slow motion instant replay. Bingo.
There it is. And we're very pleased that the instant replay equipment is now part of WLCS TV20. And at this point in time, we give the big salute to our director, Joe Bach.
We're still looking for sponsors for basketball season. But we've had some offers and we're in negotiations, so.
Carl Dyer kicking off for the Southview Saints. Ball is on the 40. Gets a good kick down the middle of the field. Finally picked up on the far side by Mims. Terrence Mims on the kickoff return brings it out close to the 30-yard line. They'll probably spot it on about the 29, where the Admirals will now take over 1st and 10.
And again, you'll see some new faces out there. Tony Shoulders has decided to play all of his seniors for at least 1 down. Give them their day in the sun, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Well, tonight, their day in the rain.
For them, it's sunshine. It's not raining. Big hole.
The give is to Lavelle Morris. Morris breaks across the 40 to the 50. He's into Southview territory. A big first down on the first play of scrimmage for Lavelle Morris. There is a flag, however, about the 39-yard line.
I think that's going to be a
and that is going to be a block in the back against the Admirals.
I think we're going to see it here. The tackle was made by 81.
Making the stop for the Saints, Terrence Dozier. A 145-pound senior.
You'll see it right here. The middle of the screen, he breaks free. Number 90 right there, he called him, hit him in the back. That was a pretty weak call. I agree with you. That was a weak.
So a 10-yard penalty from the point of the fall brings the ball back to the 29-yard line, which is the original line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 1st and 10 all over again.
Well, that was pretty nice of them not to have the chain gang have to move. They just put the ball right back. It's a tough break for the Admirals. They had the ball in the Saints territory and driving down the field.
Samaskovich again, under center, gives it off to Lavelle Morris. This time, not quite the room he had before. Gets it up about to the 34-yard line. Brian Joyner making the tackle.
Ron, this game is for bragging rights. These guys play basketball against each other. They wrestle. They see each other in the malls. This is for bragging rights for a year. That's why they'll play all out for this game.
2nd and 5 for the Admirals. Pick up a 5 by Morris. This time it's Keith Wood getting the pitch from quarterback Samaskovich. Gets up to about the 38-yard line. They'll be shy of the first by about a yard. Brian Joyner again making the tackle. Also in on the stop, Dante McGill.
This is a very important play for the Admirals. Ron, they don't want to go 3 and out. Give Southview the ball back again. The best defense you can have is not giving the other team the football, so they need this first down. Look for him to give the ball to Lavelle, off tackle.
And on a reverse, the ball carrier for the Admirals is Julian Smith. And he's going to be thrown for a loss, bringing up a fourth and a punting situation for the Admirals.
Well, but I did not understand that call. It's slow moving and there's a lot of ball handling. I'd have just given the ball to 240-pound fullback and say, get me 2 yards. See the reverse, the counter, and Southview stays home, number 63, which is Josh Henderson. Stayed home, did his job, turned it inside. Nice play. Look out.
Gareth Hannigan in punting position. The snap from center is over his head. He's got it on about the 1 yard line, and he's going to be dropped there, and the Southview Saints are going to have a first and goal from the Admirals' 3 or 4 yard line. Wow.
Ron, they got to teach him in on there. Again, this is a soccer player. He probably didn't understand, but he's got to try to kick that ball. Even if they block it, he's got to at least try to kick it. Once he turned the corner and got away from the first man, he just got to try to kick it as far as he can. Admiral King would have been better off had the ball gone in the end zone. And would have been a safety, but gives Southview a great field position on the 4 yard line.
Sean Nixon in motion. Messer under center. Takes the snap. Gives it to Jeff Hughes. Hughes gets into or close. It's in the end zone. Touchdown. 5:42 remaining in the first quarter of play. 6 more points on the scoreboard for the Saints. It's now 14-0 Southview. They'll go for the 2 extra points, no doubt.
Here it is again. He just lowers his head inside the tackler, down below into the end zone, crosses the goal line. 6 more.
Nixon in motion on the try for the extra points. Messer looking to pass into the corner and just out of the reach of his intended receiver, that being Robert Wilson.
Ron, that's a pass where he's just got to try to put a little air under the ball. He threw it a little too hard, and Wilson hadn't turned around looking for the ball yet.
All right, we'll be back with the kickoff right after this timeout.
As time flows on, there are places we return to again and again. Precious places. Timeless places. Places that with your help can endure forever. I'm Paul Newman. Help the Nature Conservancy save the last great places around the world.
Carl Dyer kicking off once again for the Southview Saints. The ball on the 40-yard line. Terrence Mims, one of the deep receivers. Squibbler on the ground, picked up by Julian Smith on about the 15-yard line. And Smith gets across the 30, where the Admirals will once again take over 1st and 10. Josh Henderson making the tackle.
And
William Overton also in on the stop.
Ron, it's you'd hate to say it's crucial, but we're only halfway through the first period, and the Admirals have to do something. They can't give Southview the ball back again without either getting it on their side of the field or getting some points on the board. They need to drive the ball down the field.
1st and 10 from the Admirals' 32-yard line. The give is to Lavelle Morris. Morris bulls his way across the 35-yard line, picks up about 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Tackle made by Brian Joyner. Pitch goes to Keith Wood. Wood coming across the right side of the line. Dropped just shy of the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 2. Tackle made by Sean Nixon.
Right at the moment, Ron, Southview appears to be the quicker team. They're getting to the ball a little quicker. Admirals just need to get this 1st down and build a little confidence and then take it down from there. We've been here before, 3rd and 2. See what they do this time.
Samaskovich under center. The give is to Lavelle Morris. Morris bowls his way through the middle of the line, picks up the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Admirals. Their first down. The ball will be on the 43-yard line.
The young man had a great game last week, Ron. I think he was over 220 yards rushing for Admiral King.
So far on the year, the Lavelle Morris has 778 yards on 146 carries, a 5.3 yard per carry average. Morris again the ball carrier. This time he's not going to go anywhere. Up to the line of scrimmage at best. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Eric Jimenez, Brian Joyner in on the tackle.
And I think it was John Brown, 32. Inside linebackers for Southview are having themselves a field day already.
Talking to Bill Jones this morning, he said it's just unbelievable. Last week, the Admirals picked up 544 yards on offense with 31 first downs and still lost the ball game. And you saw it all right here on TV20. The pass to Julian Smith. Finally knocked out of bounds after getting into Southview territory on the far side. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Admirals.
Well, those numbers are hard to tell. I think it's
Stanley Robinson in on the stop.
That's a big pass for the Admirals, and they're doing just what I told you they needed to do, Ron. They're taking the ball down the field. Saw one of the Southview guys on the ground. Look at, he's trying to rub the mud off of him.
That's Stanley Robinson because it is muddy once you get
to
into
the sidelines.
Lavelle Morris, the ball carrier. Up close to the 36-yard line, Derek Doan making the tackle. Gain of 5 yards, 2nd down and 5.
The other thing that happens, Ron, as the game goes on is the balls get wetter and heavier. They just can't keep them dry. They have maybe 3 to rotate in and out. But
pitch to Keith Wood. Wood across the 35-yard line. It'll be a 3rd down play for the Admirals. They'll spot the ball on about the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2. John Brown in on the tackle. Brian Joyner also in on the assist. But when you stop and look at that statistic, 544 yards on offense with 31 first downs, who would ever think that you would lose a ball game?
Yeah, you give it up in the last minute and a half and on a kickoff.
And a kickoff return. Lavelle Morris gets the running room, gets across the 30-yard line, picks up a first down for the Admirals. It'll be 1st and 10 on about the 29-yard line, or just over the 30. Joe Kazura in on the tackle, 270-pound sophomore.
I believe we're on the JVs play tomorrow morning at 10 here.
If you're watching this game late Friday night, they do play Saturday, October 26th, 10 o'clock, here in the stadium. Admiral King Southview JVs. Lavelle Morris
Big hole.
Gets up to the 20-yard line. He'll be shy of the first down. It'll be 2nd and 1. Sean Nixon making the stop.
That was a big hole, Ron. We might see that on the replay. Admiral King just controlled that side of the line of scrimmage in a big hole, and he just tried to leap over Nixon to get the first down. He's a little bit short. But I think that's the situation that Bill Jones wants to be in, 2nd and 1.
Quarterback Samaskovich again hands it off to Lavelle Morris and picks up the first down as he gets the ball over the 15. Stanley Robinson making the tackle.
Can't see his number, Ron, but he's the only one covered in mud in the back, so we know that's number 6. As you say, the field's in pretty good shape in the middle, but the sidelines are going to be wet because that's where the water's draining, and especially to the east side of the stadium where the Admiral side is pretty muddy over there.
First and 10, just inside the 15-yard line. The Admirals continue.
Whoa.
And in the backfield, tackled is Keith Wood. And he is met by the big sophomore, Joe Kazura.
They tried a little misdirection there, and Kazura shot the gap, and he got there about the same time the ball did. It's a wonder they didn't cough the ball up.
Called being at the right place at the right time. And that's the end of the first quarter of play with the score Southview 14, Admiral King nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this timeout.
You know, Lorain's a great town to live in and to raise a family. My name's Jim Smith, and I'm managing a history project all about growing up in Lorain. And behind me is a picture of downtown Lorain in the 50s. In 1953, the Lorain Chamber of Commerce produced a 16mm film all about Lorain. Now, we've transferred that to video. You can look back at Lorain 50 years ago at the low price of $25. In addition to the Lorain video, if you act now for that same $25, we'll include a copy of a sheriff's film produced in 1960 about the Lorain County Sheriff's Department. It's got good guys, it's got bad guys, it's got a hold-up and a shootout. It even has a posse. Did you know they had a posse in 1960? Well, they did. And you can own this by calling the number on your screen, 233-2239, and order a copy. Make a great Christmas present. And if you get a recording, leave your phone number, leave your name, and we'll get back to you. Once again, you get both the Lorain film and the Sheriff's film for the same low price, just $25. So call now. That's 233-2239.
All right, action back here at George Daniel Stadium as the second quarter just getting underway. The Admirals with the ball.
They tried to go off tackle there, Ron, and they only got a yard or two, so they've got 3rd and 10. Again, inside the 20-yard line and 15-yard line, they're going to go for it's 4-down territory. So
Absolutely.
They got 2 downs to get 10 yards, and then it's imperative that they get a score here. They need to really put some points on the board.
Corey Turner, the center. Jason Smaskovich, the quarterback, and a flag.
Well, Joe Kazura made a great play and took the Admirals some yards away from the Admirals, and this time he gave it back to them. So that's going to make it 3rd and 5 now, half the distance that they needed to get.
Offsides against the defense, so like you say, Barry, it's 5 yards on the penalty, giving the Admirals now a 3rd and 5. The ball spotted just inside the 10-yard line.
Now they have 2 downs to get 5 yards.
Keith Wood in motion, gets the pitch. Make that Julian Smith in motion getting the pitch. Picks up a first down for the Admirals. It should be 1st and goal.
Well, they get that pitch down to where he can control it. He might have gotten that ball in the end zone. He had to slow his momentum down to catch the ball. It was pitched a little high for him, so Admirals have 1st and goal on the 3.
Just under 11 minutes here in the second quarter. Southview Saints leading 14-0. The Admirals threatening. And a loose ball, but I do believe Smaskovich was able to pounce on it. It will be a loss of 2 yards back to the 5-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and goal now from the 5.
Again, Ron, we remind the readers or the listeners that he's wearing a different jersey because he had to have the other one cut at the hospital in Lakewood 2 weeks ago, so he's wearing number 6.
And the Admirals are wearing their away jerseys, the white ones. At home, they wear the blue. Second from the 5. Keith Wood the ball carrier. Keith Wood close to that goal line.
Didn't get in. Wow.
Did not get in.
I thought he was there. He had a host of people leading him in that hole, and I thought he was going to sneak in there.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and goal now. The ball on about the 1-yard line.
I might try to
possibly even less.
I might try the sneak here, and then if that doesn't work, give the ball to the big fullback. But the fewer people that handle that ball down here, the better.
Samaskovich gives it to Lavelle Morris. Bulls, but did he make it? And
No.
they're saying he
Referee
did not.
signals fourth down. I think they lost yardage there. There's a case, Ron, where when you're 240 pounds, you really don't want to jump. You should just try to drive and carry your legs as far as you can get into the end zone. He tried to jump here. Of course, somebody got in there below them and really shot the hole. Doan, I think it is, closed the gap on him real quick, and has a big defensive play for the Saints.
Fourth down now for the Admirals, their last chance to get that ball into the end zone. And again, it's Lavelle Morris. Morris this time takes it into the end zone, touchdown. With 8 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play, the Admirals get on the board, 14-6.
That's what you need to do, Ron, is just lower your head and carry the ball in. He was in.
Gareth Hannigan will attempt the extra point. Samaskovich will hold.
It's a very tough part of the game. Hands are cold, they're wet, the ball's wet.
And a flag.
Somebody's offsides. And I'm willing to bet if it's Southview, King might opt to go for two.
They're talking to Admiral King. Offsides against the defense. Half the distance. That will put the ball on the 1.5 yard line.
Well, I guess they're going
and
to line up and kick it
Samaskovich
anyway.
just moved the
He moved it up 1.5 yards, and so let's kick it again.
moved the tee where they placed the ball. So they're going to go for the single point. And the kick is in the air. It is good. So the Admirals have cut the score in half. It's 14-7. Southview with 8:57 remaining in the second quarter. The Admirals will be kicking off now to the Southview Saints. Prior to the start of tonight's ball game, the senior athletes in all fall sports of Southview were being honored. We do have a list, and we'll try to get through them. Gary Atkins, Angel Alvarado, Derek Doan, Terrence Dozier, Adam Figueroa, Josh Henderson, Jeff Hughes, Eric Jimenez, Mark Majoris, Mark Matos, Dante McGill, David Mercado, Jason Messer, Jamar Miller, Sean Nixon, William Overton, Richard Robinette, Stanley Robinson, John Stefanchik, Adil Velez, Matt Vimpenny, Robert Wilson. Those are the senior members of the varsity squad for the Southview Saints football team. Also honored were girls soccer, golf, cross country, Special Olympics, girls tennis, and we'll get to mentioning them as we go along. In golf, it was Adam Craig, cross country, Terrence Ogletree, Special Olympics, Stephen Cruz. In girls tennis, Amanda Rosa, Ashley Argenti, Anna Rivera, Natasha Castro, and Simone Wilhelmi. And on the kickoff, here comes Jeff Hughes, close to the 40-yard line. They'll spot it on about the 39. Tackle made by Mike Meinhold.
He was a step from taking it all the way there, I believe. He was right up the middle, full head of steam, and I think one more step, he would have been gone.
First and 10 for the Southview Saints on their own 39-yard line. The girls soccer members that were honored, Brittany Gonzalez, Carly Nieto, Maritza Ramirez, Sandra Santos, Sunshine Shuck, Sasha Simmons, Jessica Zook, Jessica Todd, Sarah Wozniak, and Amber Heyer. We thought some of them were senior band members, but in actuality they were soccer players who happened to be in the band. I'm sure the senior band members will be honored at halftime. The ball carrier for the Southview Saints.
That was the quarterback, kept that one. It was
Quarterback.
Jason Messer.
Jason Messer.
Looked like a little bit of an option of some kind. Mike Meinhold made the tackle, and looks like they're going to try to set that up a little bit and look for Jason to carry that ball and then pitch it to Jeff Hughes. But anytime you can get 4 yards, 5 yards, keep running the ball.
Second down and 5 for the Southview Saints on the 44. It's Sean Nixon, the ball carrier. Gets maybe a yard at most on the play. Nick Washington making the tackle. Ball will be spotted on the 45-yard line. Third and 4.
I was talking to Nick's dad yesterday, Sanford, who played for that school up north, and I told him that I usually only root for them once a year when they play Notre Dame, but I have to root for them tomorrow because they got to beat Iowa because the Bucks don't get a chance to play Iowa this year. So I got to wear blue and gold with an M on it tomorrow.
You are referring to the University of Michigan.
I can't say that.
I don't have a problem.
I can't say that.
I have
can
no
just
problem.
say that's.
And it's Messer trying to pass. He keeps the ball, picks up the first down for the Southview Saints, gets inside Admiral King territory.
That was a nice tackle. Nice form tackle by
Desmond Carter.
But it was a little late. He got the first down, and Southview continues down the field.
Here on the replay, Messer going back, looking, keeping the ball, crossing the mid-stripe, and driven back. But his forward motion taking him to the 48-yard line where the Southview Saints now have a 1st and 10, and the officials are calling for a timeout.
It usually means equipment.
And it's Jason Messer with his helmet, but apparently he's got it all straightened out. And we continue the clock running with 7 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play. As the rain continues to fall here at George Daniels Stadium. Adam Figueroa split wide to the right. The pitch goes to Jeff Hughes. Hughes looking for the running room. There's a flag. Hughes finally driven out of bounds. And boy, I'll tell you, we're going to.
You got a late hit here. You got a clip back at the line of scrimmage, and you got a late hit here.
Offsetting penalties. In a situation like that, one against the Southview Saints, this one against the Admirals. Well, they're saying holding on the, or pushing the back on the part of the Saints.
Yeah, I call it a clip. They don't call them clips much anymore, but it's a push in the back.
That flag is on about the 49-yard line of the Saints.
This might be one of those situations where they mark one off and then mark the other. They're going to go 15 yards this way and then, oh, maybe. Well, they both flags must have been against Southview, and Admiral King chose to take the push in the back.
All right, they brought the ball back to the Southview 39-yard line.
That's a big penalty.
Where it's going to be 1st and about 23. Jeff Hughes in motion. Messer back to pass. Shuffles off to Sean Nixon. Could not get it. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 23.
I think if you, I don't think that play was drawn up to be run that way. But the idea was there. It was wide open had he gotten it there, but I think they had just a little too much pressure on him. He couldn't get the ball to him. That'll slow the rush down a little bit.
John Brown in motion this time. Messer back to pass. He's being chased on the screen play. It was Jeff Hughes, and the pass was just too high. Incomplete. 3rd and 23.
Well, they said they didn't cover it that time. Let's try it again. And both times it's been open. They just, that one he overthrew.
Speaking to Southview statistician, our good friend Devin, points out that since 1989, because we were trying to determine what the overall record between these two schools, we talked to the Journal reporter, talked to the Chronicle reporter, Roger Negrin, and no one seemed to know on the spur of the moment. I'm sure somewhere within the confines of the Chronicle Telegram sports department, they do have that information. In fact, Roger indicated he promised to put it in the paper. We'll have it for next year. To Hughes on the far side, the pass from Messer. Hughes into Admiral King territory, crossing the 50-yard line. Chances are and there is a flag on the far side there.
Flag.
Got the ball to the original line of scrimmage. But since 1989, and we're looking at that season, 89, holding against the Southview Saints, that'll bring it back unless they...
Admirals might decline this. Could be 4th down and 12 at midfield. You're going to make it 3rd and 25.
Well, they're close enough to the bench to get the coach's input on this. But since 1989, Southview has defeated Admiral King 4 times. So in the past 13 games, Southview has won 4. The Admirals have won 9. And Coach Tony Shoulders has yet to defeat the Admirals. This is his 3rd season at the helm.
I think before 89, it was even more lopsided in the Admirals' favor. I'm not sure Southview beat them at all for years before that in the 80s.
Well, chances are it might have been a victory back in 1980 when they had the last winning season of 7 wins and 3 defeats. But then again, one of those defeats could have been against the Admirals. We will find out. Pass to Sean Nixon. He is dropped on the near sideline. Making the tackle, Julian Smith.
That was a nice series of downs by the Admirals defensively. Southview just kept shooting themselves in the foot, and the Admirals just kept pushing them back, and they should get the ball in pretty good field position with half the period left.
It's still 4th down and 23.
And right now, Ron, the difference in this game is the bad snap.
Carl Dyer will be punting for the Southview Saints. Julian Smith is the deep receiver, and the Admirals are calling timeout with 5:50 remaining in the 2nd quarter. The score 14 for the Southview Saints, 7 for the Admiral King Admirals. Back in a moment.
Hello, I'm Chief Sal Rivera.
And I'm Officer Michael Failing.
This year, the Lorain Police Department, in partnership with the Lorain City Schools and the Morning Journal, is introducing an exciting new program called Do the Right Thing. The purpose of the program is to publicly honor and recognize kids who display proper behavior and proper attitudes.
You can pick up a nomination form in your local city school or in the Lorain Morning Journal. Let's fill out those nomination forms so we can honor the kids who do the right thing in the city of Lorain.
So we'll try again. Now the time is back in. 4th and 23 for the Saints. Carl Dyer standing on his 25-yard line. Julian Smith, deep receiver for the Admirals. And the ball lands on the 31, and it will be permitted to roll, and it's downed on the 22-yard line.
I think the Admirals called timeout because they only had 10 players on the field, and they had to make sure they had everything covered. So that was a wise timeout. Get the ball back and see if they can mount another drive.
Well, there's certainly enough time on the clock to drive the ball down and possibly tie up this score. Both teams going into the locker room at halftime all tied up 14-14, but that's simply wishful thinking on somebody's part. The proof is in the performance. Speaking of performance, don't forget at the Lorain Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway, downtown Lorain, November 1st at 7:30, Shirley Jones live and in concert. Shirley Jones. A lot of us old-timers remember her. Samaskovich back to pass. Middle of the field, and it's just in and out of the hands of Keith Wood. Covering on the play, Jeremy Coleman for the Southview Saints.
That ball was up there a long time, Ron. I thought a dry field, I think about 5 more people could have gotten near that ball. He gets wide like that, he's got to throw it sooner. He faked everyone out. There wasn't anybody over there. And then Joyner saw him and put a pretty good lick on him there. That ball right through his hands. It's tough to catch a ball in this kind of weather.
On the incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line.
It's raining harder now than I think it has any time of the evening, Ron.
And the give is to Julian Smith. Smith with the ball. Gets up to about the 40-yard line. First and 10 for the Admirals. They'll spot it on the 41. Making the stop, Jeremy Coleman.
It's a nice play, Ron. They pull the guard and the tackle. They seal it off inside. He gets outside and he drags the defender for about 5 yards. Also helping him on that tackle was Marquel Miller. I saw his dad downstairs and I said, now it's nice to have both boys on the same team, so you only got to go one place.
Lavelle Morris, the ball carrier, across the 45-yard line. Picks up about 5 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 5. We're down to 4 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play. Second and 5 for the Admirals. Also at the Palace Civic Center on November 9th at 7:30 is the Front Porch Blues, live and in concert. Starring Alvin Bishop, Charlie Musselwhite, Corey Harris, Henry Butler, and Deborah Coleman. Samaskovich to Lavelle Morris. Couldn't hang on as he was hit just as the ball reached him. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Ron, somebody asked me one time why I don't referee football games, and it's a night like this that tells me why I don't do that. At least the players get to come off the field, some of them, for a little bit. The referees never leave the field.
Once upon a time, I recall seeing officials on a night like tonight wearing clear plastic rain gear. Now, are those uniforms that they're wearing rain protected or water protected?
Probably not.
Wow. Flag on the play. Lavelle Morris, the ball carrier. We'll see how the penalty goes.
They might, I know if I were out there, I might have a change for the second half. I might want to try to do this in dry clothes the second half, but they may have something underneath that's water resistant or water repellent.
As I'm saying, the rain started long before this game got underway, and I'm sure long before these officials left their place of residence to come here. Illegal procedure is the call against the Admirals. That'll bring the ball back to the 41-yard line, where it will be 3rd and 10.
I will say that the umpire probably has a dry towel for the second half.
Wood in motion. Lavelle Morris gets the handoff, picks up the first down for the Admirals, gets into Southview territory to about the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, no flags on the field.
Ron,
so the Admirals keep their drive alive with 4 minutes remaining.
I think Southview shot a linebacker and he just blew right by him. He got down the field and he just ran over Marquel Miller for the first down. So keeps it, like you said, keeps the drive alive and gives them, I got to believe, 4 more downs. We're inside 4 minutes. They would just love to eat up these 4 minutes and score.
They dropped the linebacker down.
Samaskovich fakes the handoff, passes far side. There's a flag. And the intended receiver, Mike Meinhold.
I think the Southview guy was all over him. I think you're going to see replay. You're going to see interference here. And in high school, that's a little bit different than the pros that you're used to seeing. It's only a 15-yard penalty. Got outside. That's a nice play.
Nice pass.
You can see he's all over his back.
Yeah. Mike Meinhold there on the far side.
So that's a 15-yard penalty.
And that's an automatic now first down for the Admirals. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Southview 30-yard line.
Ron, for the most part, Southview's been unable to stop Lavelle Morris inside. I would just keep.
3 minutes, 45 seconds, and the give is to Lavelle Morris. He bowls his way up to the 25-yard line, or down 2, we should say.
Right, I think Southview's making a little adjustment here. They've taken one of their linebackers and put him down, so they have 5 down linemen trying to fill in the gaps. And Admiral King's been able to pick that up, and if Lavelle can get in the secondary, he's only got 1 man to beat.
Morris picking up 5 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 5. Now the rain is really coming down.
Hey, we get a double. We get Lavelle on a kick out. We got
Pitch this time to Julian Smith. Smith picking up a first down for the Admirals. Gets up close to the 10-yard line. First and 10.
Ron, they got a great block from Tom Bennett, and Lavelle Morris came out there as the lead back and kicked out the defender for Southview, and Julian turned it inside for a big first down. You'll see the block by Lavelle. You see the pull by Bennett. Got a block. And Jason Samaskovich is leading the charge. He was the last guy.
Keith Wood, the ball carrier.
You're on the 5.
Keith Wood getting up close to the 5-yard line.
Our spotter's been telling us where the ball is. Our unofficial spotter.
Coach Nesbitt.
Coach. That's one of the...
Since the Admirals are the visiting team tonight,
they're downstairs.
The Scouts are downstairs on our level, where the home team is usually upstairs.
So we have a unofficial spotter. He's doing a great job telling us exactly where the ball is.
All right, the ball is on the 6-yard line, and a loose ball. The Saints picking it up, almost picked it up, but they did recover, so that has stopped the Admirals' opportunity to score, and getting that loose ball, John Brown. And you know, Barry, the past few weeks, that has been the story of the Admiral King Admirals. They march down the field, get close can be to the end zone, and then cough it up.
Yep, that's a play they've been running, all year. It's that short pitch to the wingback on the counter, and
I don't know.
He couldn't, and the running back couldn't stop and get his momentum to go back and get the ball and cover it up, and Southview fell on it. And
well, I hope I didn't jinx them when I said about wishful thinking, scoring and tying up the ball game, going into the locker room at 14-14.
Now what they have to be careful of, Ron, is a letdown and let Southview break one and really put the pressure on them. They need to stop this.
Jeff Hughes was the ball carrier on that last play. Picked up 6 yards on the play, 2nd down and 4.
And I think Tony's game plan here is just run something safe, and if we break it, fine. If we don't, let's get out of here up 1 score.
We're down to 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
So
Clock
they're in no real
continues
hurry.
to run. John Brown in motion. Messer back to pass. Looking, and throws to Marquell Miller. Marquell Miller wants to see the flag from the official, but not to be, as Jason Van Wagenen was covering on the play for the Admirals defensively.
I guess that's why I'm up here and they're down there, because as Coach Uzinski said, that blew that theory. I've been right more often than I've been wrong this year, so I'm entitled to 1 or 2. Yeah, I was right, but they weren't. But
on the incomplete pass, 3rd and 4 for the Saints. Clock is stopped with 1 minute and 29 seconds remaining. The give again is to Jeff Hughes.
See, now if you don't get the first down, now you got to punt it. You give the ball back to him.
It'll be a 4th down situation for the Southview Saints, and the officials stop the clock with 1 minute and 20 remaining. Official timeout. They're going to bring out the chains.
They're going to bring out the chains. That was he looked like he was stopped. We might want to get this on the replay here and see if we did get a fortuitous spot for the Saints.
And I think they're going to be short.
They're going to be short.
It'll be 4th down. Yeah, about a foot. 4th and about a foot.
I notice our producer, director, cameraman didn't make a prediction that time.
I think it was too obvious. Because I said shy of the first down.
Well, it was shy until they put the ball on the ground, and they put it a little further south than he landed.
All right, the Admirals have called the timeout on the field with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. As we indicated, Southview 14, and the Admirals with 7 points. They'll get the ball on a kickoff. WLCS TV20 says thanks to our program sponsors, the Lorain Palace Civic Center, First Federal Savings of Lorain, Impressions, and Adelphia. And also we would like to point out that the Lorain Lighthouse Historical Keepsake can be yours, and the holidays are fast approaching, sports fans. It includes one WLCS TV20 video, Focus, the program Focus that we did a couple of summers ago on the Lorain Lighthouse restoration and history. It'll give you an opportunity to see exactly what the inside of that beautiful Lorain Lighthouse is all about and what it looks like, plus a 20-inch by 24-inch Lorain Lighthouse poster, all for just $29.95. $29.95. To make your order, call 282-8400, 282-8400. Well, the Saints are going for it on that fourth down, and I don't believe they made it. I don't believe they made it, as the Admirals really held. We'll see where they spot it, though. Well, they're apparently saying we did make it. So it's going to be first and 10.
Talk about a gamble.
Wow. Yes, indeed. A gutsy move by Tony Shoulders, obviously with great faith in his defense.
Well, he just didn't want to have to snap the ball, and he saw how that turnover cost the Admirals, and he just said, hey, we'll do this, and we'll stop him in a minute.
From the 29-yard line, first and 10 for the Saints.
Oh, my God!
There's a pass, and it's complete to Adam Figueroa. Now in Admiral King territory, close to the 40-yard line.
Ron, if he didn't have to wait for that, if Jeff could have gotten that ball in the air and down to him, there wasn't an Admiral within 10 yards of him, I don't think. In fact, I think the Admiral King coaches up in the press box were the closest to him. But they threw the ball, and he had to throw it up in the air. Look at this. There isn't anybody in the screen. But it was great coverage by Lavelle Morris, and that 34 is Desmond Carter coming back and covering that. So the Saints have gone from
a fourth and about a foot.
From the outhouse to the penthouse? Is that what they...
Well, about midway to the penthouse. Anyway, they've got a first and 10.
They're in the living room.
And the ball is on the Admiral King 41-yard line.
With 56 seconds left, and this is where the Admirals need a stop.
You know, for more than 20 years, Lorain Educational Endowments have funded projects that have helped increase the academic achievements of students attending Lorain schools. More than 50 projects were funded last year without community support, and these projects would not have been possible without that support. Your tax-deductible gift will help continue this tradition for the 21st century. You can make that gift by contacting Jim Smith at 233-2239. 233-2239, and the pass complete by Messer to Jeff Hughes, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown. Wow.
Boy, is that a big one.
41-yard pass play from Jason Messer to Jeff Hughes for the touchdown. Who would have thunk it?
I might have called that once I got to the 40, but I don't know if I'd have called that from my own 20. Hey, it's the end of the season. What do you got to... Tony wants that winning season.
Absolutely. You can't blame him. Plus, he wants the reality of having been able to beat the Admirals since becoming head coach, which has not been the case.
And then he was really lamenting before the Cleveland Heights game or the Elyria game puts him right in the hunt for the playoffs.
Saints going for the 2 extra points. And a loose ball on the attempt. No good. So with 47 seconds remaining in the second quarter, it's Southview 20, Admiral King 7 will have a kickoff.
Now, Coach Uzinski, there was a prediction that came true because earlier in the game they ran that option and Messer kept the ball, and I told you they're going to run that again and eventually pitch the ball, and that's what they tried to do. So I don't get credit for that, though.
We do have an Admiral King player injured down around the 2-yard line.
Keith Wood.
And that is number 35, Keith Wood, getting up. Also want to take this opportunity to give a great big thank you to our athletic director, Ray Ebersol, for his unbelievable hospitality here up in the press box, as has been the case all season long, providing refreshments for the media and the visiting coaches, and just about everyone and anyone
Well, he
here
had
in
to
the
do
press
double
box.
duty because he got both schools here tonight.
Absolutely. So we want to thank also Tops Supermarket in the center of Sheffield for their kind donation. Also want to thank Scorchers at 9th and Broadway, downtown Lorain, for their outstanding chicken wings. And our salute again to Ray Ebersol, Marco's Pizza, providing the pizzas, and just a great time. On the squibbler, kick picked up by number 42 for the Admirals, Terrence Mims.
Ron, it's my understanding that this game's on TV at Scorchers. They put it on the big screen TV down there and watch it on Friday night. So
Yes, they do.
go down there and watch the game. Have Diet Coke and some wings.
Diet Pepsi and
Diet
some
Pepsi
wings,
and
please.
some wings, okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Since Pepsi Cola is the fine sponsor for the Lorain City Schools.
Diet Pop and
Diet Pepsi. Period. Admirals with the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line with 39 seconds to work with.
well, neither team wants to
Tomaskovic
give
back
up,
to
do they?
pass. And completes the pass just shy of the 50-yard line. Oh, that was fumbled and recovered by the Saints.
By John Brown. I don't know if he fumbled it or he took it away from him. He might have just taken it right away from him. I think the Admiral King caught the ball.
Mike Meinhold was the receiver on that.
I think they just took it away from him.
Well, however,
We'll see
it happened.
again. It's the beauty of instant replay. The nice throw.
Meinhold comes down with it. Here come the Saints. And he had to strip it right away from him.
Yeah,
Sean Nixon making the initial tackle.
Well, that's Jason Van Wagenen, 31.
The receiver, however, was Meinhold. Messer throwing the ball out of bounds, and there's a flag.
The pros only have the tackle box, and the fishermen. The only two people that have the tackle box are the was Couch and Fisherman. Cheerleader was the closest to that. In high school, intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding is the call against the Southview Saints. Loss of down.
Slips are in marbles, and now I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to kneel down and get out of this.
We've got 12 seconds remaining in the first half.
I think it's taken us 25 minutes to play this last 2 minutes here.
They're going to spot the ball on the 31-yard line. That'll make it 1st and 25.
Second, should be loss of down, too.
2nd and 25. Yes, loss of down. You're right.
There goes the 2. That's a big penalty. That's the biggest penalty in the. Yeah, I think it's only a 10-yard penalty from the spot run, so then it's 10 plus the loss of down. Might have been more 5 yards loss of down, but he was deep when he threw it, so.
Well, I never said 10 or 15. I just said 2nd and 25, and that's what it is. Messer keeping the ball and running out of bounds, and the clock stops with 5 seconds remaining. Messer gets the ball up to the 46, 47-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Play only took 7 seconds, Ron.
Well, obviously, he was not going to be content taking the knee and letting the clock run out.
Man. Now you might see him just throw one up. See what happens.
Sean Nixon coming to the near side in motion. Messer under center, drops back to pass, and he is hit as he let the ball go. Making a smack on Messer was Tyrone Cash.
And we got time for one more play.
4th down, 2 seconds remaining. Why not go for it? Ball is on the 46-yard line, 4th down.
Well, the Admirals have 4 guys 20 yards off the ball, so hopefully we'll be able to they'll be able to contain this play.
Nixon again in motion, coming to the near side. Messer under quarterback or under center, and he pitches it off to John Brown. John Brown running on the far side. He's knocked out of bounds. The clock has run out, and that is the end of the first half of play with the score: the Southview Saints 20, Lorain Admiral King 7. Stay tuned now for the halftime show with the Admiral King High School Marching Band and the Southview High School Marching Band, and the extravaganza being brought to you by the Palace Civic Center. And now this message from the manager of the Palace.
Hi, this is John Hedeside from the Lorain Palace Civic Center. I want to tell you what a pleasure it's been for us to sponsor the halftime shows featuring the Lorain Admiral King Marching Admirals and the Lorain Southview Saints. These are some of the finest musicians in Lorain County, and we're pleased to have sponsored the halftime show. Speaking of some great shows coming to the Lorain Palace Civic Center, we've got Shirley Jones coming November 1st, First Lady of Song, and Front Porch Blues. 4 great blues artists, Elvin Bishop and Charlie Musselwhite, just to name a few. Then we've got the Judy Collins Christmas Concert. After that, it's the Boys Choir from Harlem. Plus, our tradition that has been living on for over 25 years, and that is Santa Claus and a movie every Saturday at 1 o'clock after Thanksgiving. Videotaped free by WLCS. Call us at 245-2323 or log on to the internet, Lorain Palace, that's one word, LorainPalace.com. Thanks.
gentlemen, before we go on, we'd like to say thank you to your parents for your support of the youth, and we'd like to honor the Lorain senior members. First, we'd like to honor Rachel and his parents, and Rachel. And his parents as Edie. Lorain with the parents Justin and Bonnie. Melissa Butcher and Michelle Butcher. Annalise Caballero with the parents David and Lindsay Caballero. Joe Caruso and his mother Denise Caruso. Erica Cruz and her mother Cruz. Sean Diedrich with his mother Donna and Brittany Diedrich. Brittany Howard with his Lisa Finn and Georgia Howard. Jim Kendricks with their parents John and Kim Kendricks. Joseph Kowalczyk Jr. with his parents Joseph and Michelle Kowalczyk. Tanya Mankowski. Mike Petroff with his mother Ayala and Steve Petroff. Maritza Ramirez with Ramirez. Ana Rivera. With her mother, Mrs. Rivera. Amanda Rosa with the mother, Rosa and Marion. Jessica Such with the parents Gary and Judy Such. Joel Vasquez with Alina Reyes. Jessica Vasquez with Michael Vasquez and Virginia Vasquez. And last but certainly not least, Sarah Wozniak with her mother, Karen Wozniak. Let's give a big round of applause to our senior members. Thank you for all the seniors and your parents who took the time to come out and honor their child. Now, I'm proud to say, to close tonight's show with the classic tune, MacArthur Park.
You know, Lorain's a great town to live in and to raise a family. My name's Jim Smith, and I'm managing a history project all about growing up in Lorain. And behind me is a picture of downtown Lorain in the 50s. In 1953, the Lorain Chamber of Commerce produced a 16-millimeter film all about Lorain. Now, we've transferred that to video. You can look back at Lorain 50 years ago at the low price of $25. In addition to the Lorain video, if you act now for that same $25, we'll include a copy of a sheriff's film produced in 1960 about the Lorain County Sheriff's Department. It's got good guys, it's got bad guys, it's got a holdup and a shootout. It even has a posse. Did you know they had a posse in 1960? Well, they did. And you can own this by calling the number on your screen, 233-2239, and order a copy. Make a great Christmas present. And if you get a recording, leave your phone number, leave your name, and we'll get back to you. Once again, you get both the Lorain film and the Sheriff's film for the same low price, just $25. So call now. That's 233-2239.
Second half action ready to get underway here at George Daniel Stadium, and the Southview Saints kicking off to the Admirals, and that one is going to go out of bounds. The Admirals will get it 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line.
Well, there's a case where 2 yards.
Right on the 1 yard line.
2 yards cost them 15. If it goes in the end zone, it's on the 20, and if it went out of bounds, it's on the 35. Ron, it has just rained the entire halftime, and
well, it's rained since we got here at 6 o'clock this evening and has not stopped. In fact, it's gotten a little more intense at times. And yet, this field is holding up. Kenny Clark and your crew, I'll tell you, you deserve all the credit in the world and then some. And I know they're going to have their hands filled when this game is complete, because we have a JV game here tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. King
I could almost see them not putting that game here.
Well, that could be. That could be. On a 1st and 10, Laval Morris gets the handoff, gets across the 40-yard line. Picks up 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
That's probably been his average. He's probably averaged 5 yards a carry.
And you know, he said that with a cookie. That's good. When you can talk with a cookie in your mouth, you're all right. You've been around the corner.
I've been there. It's in Lakewood, isn't it?
Yeah. Little gain on that play. Samaskovich hanging on to the ball. Tackle made by Brian Joyner. Maybe a yard. 3rd down and 4 for the Admirals. The Admirals trailing in this ball game by 13 points. It's 20 for Southview, 7 for the Admirals. Certainly hope you enjoyed the halftime show, brought to you by the Palace Civic Center, an opportunity to hear from John Handyside. And almost intercepted.
That's Stanley Robinson.
Stanley Robinson.
Boy, that would have been 6. Wow.
On the incomplete pass, it's 4th down and 4, and it's going to be a punting situation for the Admirals.
And the Admirals did exactly what they did not want to do, Ron. They came 3 and out. Give the ball back to the Saints, and well, the Saints are lined up. They're sending 10.
Low snap, and it's going to be a pass play, a screen, and we've got ourselves a 1st down for the Admirals, and then some. And it's Keith Wood going into the end zone. Touchdown.
What a play.
Believe that?
That's a soccer kicker threw that ball. Boy, they're letting it all hang out, Ron.
You know, I asked Bill Jones earlier today, are we going to see any wrinkles? And he kind of hemmed and hawed, and I knew he had something up his sleeve beside his arm. Here it comes.
Boy,
Look at it again.
I tell you what, the Saints had, if he'd have kicked that ball, they had eaten him alive. And he just outran everybody, turned the corner, broke a tackle, and that's got to be 70 yards. I wonder if they put that in at halftime after the bad snap in the first half.
Well, the Admirals will go for the extra point. Samaskovich will hold. Gareth Hannigan.
Boy, Ron, you talk about a game of inches. If Stanley Robinson intercepts that ball.
And a bad snap gets away from Samaskovich. Hannigan picks it up, and he's going to throw it again. It'll go. Oh, and they couldn't hang on. The ball got away, and it rolled into the end zone. Let's see this one again.
Come on, Joe, work that replay.
Well, I'm going to have a hard time with this one. I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't like it any better this time.
Now that's Meinhold. Either Meinhold or Solis.
Oh,
and he reaches.
No, he didn't. I don't think he had. I think he, no.
We're just saying what happened.
Yes.
He reached with the ball, and the officials say that it went over the line for 2 points.
Merry Christmas.
Well, with 10 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play, the Admirals now, once upon a time, trailed by 20, then trailed by 13, now trailed by 5. It's Southview 20, Admiral King 15.
Tony Shoulders is so upset. He's called a timeout. And I know if this were the pros, that red flag would have been on the field, that little sock or whatever it is they throw out there.
Well, one of the disadvantages of high school football as well as college, they do not have the instant replay, and the officials are not given the opportunity to see up tight. Plus, we've only got the one camera operation. The angle, well, here we go again. All right, gets away from Samaskovich. Snap was low. Hannigan dishes it off, and that's Meinhold. Meinhold is tackled right there, reaches out, and the ball gets out of his hand, and the ball was out of his hand before it hit the goal line.
Yes, it was.
It rolled into the end zone.
He reached, and he was trying to get there, but the ball was out of his hands. Tony's got to be careful. Now the timeout, he lost the timeout there.
And Tony wants to call his troops together, and they'll talk for a while or two.
Boy, what a change of events here in the last 30 seconds, from an almost disastrous pass to a fourth down fake punt for a 70-yard touchdown.
There it goes again.
This is the Dave Casper play from Oakland, the Dave Casper rule. That's a Lorain City Schools first. Was that 3 times, Joe, for the instant replay rerun?
Gareth Hannigan will kick off from his 40-yard line, as this final game of the season between these two inner-city rivals is providing us with just about everything imaginable and then some. Taking on the 14-yard line, Sean Nixon. He is tripped up as he crosses the 30. They'll spot the ball on about the 33-yard line, making the tackle for the Admirals, Brandon Phillips.
You know, Ron, as tense as this game is and excited as the kids are, that was a nice move by Brandon Phillips to pick up the ball carry. He just kind of helped him up off the ground, and that's just a sign of good sportsmanship, and kids are having a good time out there.
17-yard kickoff return by Sean Nixon. Southview now with a 1st and 10 on their own 33-yard line. Jason Messer, the quarterback, under center. Nixon in motion. The handoff goes to Jeff Hughes, and he breaks away from tacklers behind the line of scrimmage, or right at the line of scrimmage, gets up to the 40, close to the 39-yard line before Jason Van Wagenen brought him down.
Ron, he was juggling that ball as he hit the line of scrimmage. He could have easily turned that ball over.
Gain of 6 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 for the Saints. Nixon once again in motion. Messer pitches back to Hughes. Hughes finds the running room on the far side before being knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 45-yard line, picking up a 1st down for the Southview Saints. It'll be 1st and 10 from about their 46-yard line.
Looks like Tony just going to put the ball in the hands of his
tailback,
the horse that got him here, and just going to ride him down the field and see what he can do. This is a real advantage to the running back. He knows kind of where he's going, and he can make one cut. Tough for the defense to play on this kind of a field conditions.
Messer looking to pass down the center, connects with Jamar Miller for another 1st down.
Ron, you know, if people want to see the real conditions of fields, they ought to watch the any of the channels, the news sports at 11. They'll show the high school highlights, and I'll bet you that most of the teams are playing in a quagmire. And then the only mud we have here are what the kids get on the sidelines. And I tell you what, they're putting the ball in the air, they're throwing all over the field, both sides, in the rain and the wet. This is just up and down the field.
1st and 10 from the Admiral King 36-yard line, and by the time our sports fans are watching this telecast on TV20, they will have already seen the bits on channels 3, 5, 7, or 8, and obviously watching this, you can even that much more appreciate the job that Kenny Clark and his crew have done here at George Daniels Stadium. It is one of the kingly fields when it comes to maintenance and well-kept and well-groomed football fields in this area.
Considering the number of games that are played on.
Absolutely. And we look forward, as we said, he's got his hands filled now for the next couple of weeks because we see some playoff games coming here to George Daniel. The pitch going to Jeff Hughes. Hughes to the near side, crosses the 30, knocked out of bounds. Just shy of the 25-yard line. Should be enough for a 1st down.
They had him in the backfield, and he just outran him, turned the corner, and gained the yards that they needed.
First and 10 for the Southview Saints. Spotting the ball on the 16-yard line.
This shows a little character of the Saints after coming back from letting that 4th down touchdown go, and the 2-point conversion. Now they've just taken the ball and just driven it down the field.
John Brown in motion, going to the far side. Jeff Hughes gets a handoff, bounces off of some tacklers, comes to the near side, knocked out of bounds, picked up short yardage. Keith Wood making the tackle for the Admirals. Also in on the stop, Julian Smith.
It's raining harder now than this is really raining now.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8.
And the cheerleaders have not let up. They're right there. When it gets a brownie point, Barry mentioned it. They don't even have raincoats on.
Do we have a new producer for our telecast?
I think we do.
All right, Messer back to pass, and they're saying incomplete. It was trapped. Marquell Miller on the far side, the intended receiver.
We know that Ray does a great job, but I didn't realize that he had 2 assistant athletic directors. And they're both affiliated with Southview. I don't understand that. Why is it when the Admiral King people are here, we just do the job and
And you know, the amazing thing is, if the gentleman making the suggestions lived in the city of Lorain and could watch TV20, he would have been able to see that we have already highlighted the Southview cheerleaders on a number of occasions. Ball carrier is Sean Nixon. Nixon coming to the near side before being pushed out of bounds by Julian Smith. Also in on the action, Lavelle Morris, Jason Van Wagenen. And it's going to be a first down for the Southview Saints. Nixon picking it up.
I want to tell you, Ron, however bad it looks on TV, it is about 4 times worse out there. And
there we see the Lorain Southview Saints cheerleaders, and they're just cheering their hearts out. I can only see one with any rain gear. Sure hope those sweaters don't shrink. Jeff Hughes, the ball carrier. Tackle made by Mike Meinhold.
You know, the other amazing thing, Ron, is the number of turnovers, how few they are considering the weather conditions. And the Admirals had one big one down there right before the half that really hurt them, and then the bad snap. I don't think Southview's turned the ball over yet in these weather conditions.
Well, I'm just going to say, and you had mentioned the 2 major turnovers were involving the Admirals with the bad snap and about to score, losing the ball. And there's a loose ball, but the Southview Saints were able to recover on the 15-yard line. There'll be a loss on that play, back to the 15.
The cheerleaders have thrown in the towel.
Can you blame them?
No. I'd have been gone a long time ago.
They had their moment on TV, and that was it. Someone gave them the highlight, and away they went.
Oh, they're going to go to the other sidelines and cheer with the King people.
Well, bless their hearts. Look at that. Yeah, they're going to be on the far side with the King cheerleaders.
It's drier over there.
Messer back to pass, and it is knocked down. Mike Meinhold got his hands on it. That'll bring a 4th down. 4th and 11 for the Saints.
That was a smart move by Jason Messer to let that ball drop. Ron, if he catches that ball, he's 15 yards behind line of scrimmage. The ball's tipped. He has a chance to catch, and he just drops it and recovers it, but it was an incomplete pass. Southview will go for it.
Pitch goes to Jeff Hughes. He's looking for that spot to run. Can't find it. He is brought down, and there is a flag.
Probably a face
somewhere
mask
around the 14-yard line.
That's a big penalty if that's a face mask on Admiral King. They had him stopped. Oh, holding on Southview. And as good as this football game is, it's a shame that a lot of people are missing it because of the weather. Oh, there's the hold right there. Yep. That was a good call. Saw the hold on the instant replay. Pulled him to the down.
Well, the Admirals stopped Jeff Hughes on that run, unable to pick up a first down, plus the holding penalty gives the Admirals the ball. They now have it 1st and 10. They are on their own 17-yard line. Pitch goes to Keith Wood. He loses it. We'll see, and the Southview Saints, they've got it. Popped right out of Keith Wood's hands.
Oh, that ball just squirted right out.
Another major turnover by the Admirals. That's number 3. And 2 fumbles and a bad snap.
Yeah, the turnover comes at a really bad time because they've just put a defensive stand on. They stopped them, got the ball back.
All right, once again, we want to take this opportunity here in the second half to thank our fine folks that have provided all the refreshments here in the press box. the Tops Supermarket in the center of Sheffield, and Scorchers, 9th and Broadway, downtown Lorain.
Look for a double pass. Oh, there's a
Pass
pass
from
to Jeff.
Messer to Jeff Hughes. Hughes to the 10-yard line, brought down inside the 10. That'll be enough for a 1st and goal for the Southview Saints. Lavelle Morris making the stop.
Had Jeff Hughes flanked out to the right, and they just threw him the ball and let him go one-on-one, and he just turned to Jets and found a hole. You'll see him throw the ball to Jeff out in the flat. He just flat out runs him, goes straight down the field.
Ball just inside the 10-yard line on about the 9. 1st and goal for the Southview Saints as once again they threaten. Sean Nixon, the ball carrier, gets a couple of yards on that play.
Somebody's down for the Admirals.
That's Keith Wood once again.
And that may be why he, coughed the ball up. Maybe he's playing hurt.
And this time he does look hurt. Second time that he's been down in this ball game. Keith Wood. So we do have a timeout on the field. Let me remind you that the 33rd annual Lorain March-A-Rama, which occurred on Saturday, October 19th here at George Daniel Stadium, featuring bands from Lorain Catholic, Padua Franciscan in Parma, John F. Kennedy in Cleveland, Vermilion, Lorain Southview, Parma Normandy, and Lorain Admiral King High School. The videotapes are now available for just $14.95, and that includes shipping and handling. $10 per tape if you come to Charleston and pick it up yourself. You can call Joe Bach at 282-8400. That's 282-8400 to order your copy now and to make the proper arrangements, whether you want it mailed to you or if you want to come and pick it up. It's $14.95 for shipping and handling right to your home, or $10 if you come to Charleston to pick it up. That's videotapes of the 33rd annual Lorain March-A-Rama from Saturday, October 19th here at George Daniel Stadium.
I was hoping Joe had a picture of that. Oh, Mad Dog was dancing through the mud to the water cooler in there. Well, the cheerleaders are back.
You're speaking of Michael D'Angelo.
Yes.
Yes. Well, while we're speaking about videos, I also want to remind you that there is a video and a beautiful poster of the Lorain Lighthouse. It's the Lorain Lighthouse Historical Keepsake. It includes the WLCS TV20 video, the focus program that we did 2 summers ago of the Lorain Lighthouse restoration and history. You'll be able to see everything, all the floors of the Lorain Lighthouse, what it looks like, and what they've done to it, with excellent narration by our fine host, Mickey Van Wagenen. And the 20 by 24-inch Lorain Lighthouse poster, just beautiful for framing. It's a night scene with the lighthouse all lit up. You can have both the video and the poster for just $29.95. It will make an excellent holiday gift. And again, to order that, you can call 282-8400, 282-8400. And all the proceeds, by the way, will benefit the Lorain Lighthouse restoration and WLCS TV20 Lorain City Schools Television. Keith Wood is still down on the ground, so while they administer to him, let's take this time out. We'll be back shortly.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on boats, cars, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 7 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, Port Clinton, and now at 36690 Detroit Road in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
Well, they got Keith Wood up and helped him off to the field. He was able to walk off on his own efforts, so we're happy to see that. Anyway, it's Jeff Hughes, and he was hit at the line of scrimmage, bounced off, and then brought down on the 2nd and goal. So it's going to be 3rd and goal now. And
that was a big
beautiful
hit
tackle by Nick Washington.
The report we got on Keith was he got a stinger.
There's the play. He's hit, comes back, and then brought down on the 10-yard line, and that's where they're going to put the ball. So there was a loss. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 10. You had heard about Keith Wood.
That he had a stinger, which involves the arm and shoulder, so he should be okay.
Jeff Hughes in motion. Messer looking to pass, throws, and it's broken up.
I don't know what it is.
Incomplete pass.
We haven't seen a signal yet. I see the FAR official saying it's 4th down, but I don't see anything else.
I do believe the intended receiver was Robert Wilson. Jamar Miller was also in the area. But on the incomplete pass, it's 4th and goal from the 10-yard line.
Here we see the slow motion instant replay, and all kinds of bodies in there. Saints are going to go for it again. This would be a big hold for the Admirals if they can do it one more time.
Sean Nixon in motion, Messer under center, gets the snap, and it's to Jeff Hughes. Jeff Hughes bouncing off of bodies, gets just inside the 10-yard line, dropped, and the Admirals hold. They'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 9-yard line.
That's a big series, right? Southview had the ball at least 10 plays inside the 20 and couldn't get the ball in the red zone. Admirals just contained him and turned him inside and tackled him and got the ball back. Maybe what the Admirals need to do is line up and punt it.
Now?
No. Throw the punt play. Just get to the 4th down and have inning and throw it.
Oh. Lavelle Morris, the ball carrier, gets across the 15-yard line. Picks up good yardage on that play. It'll be 2nd down. Ball on about the 18.
Can't have it more than a yard.
Should be 2nd and 1. Gain of 9 on the play.
I think I might just come back to the same play and get the 1st down. And
other games going on tonight in the Lake Erie League Lake Division. Elyria is at Lakewood. That should be a win for the Pioneers.
That's Julian Smith.
Julian Smith, the ball carrier, gets the 1st down for the Admirals as he made sure to hang on to that ball with both arms.
I think the big showdown tonight was supposed to be Euclid and Mentor, and Elyria took care of that, didn't they?
I was just going to say Mentor and Euclid. Mentor is at Euclid. Both the Pioneers and the Euclid Panthers are 5-1. There's a fumble on the play, and the Southview Saints seem to be indicating it might be their ball, but we'll see what happens as they unpile. Tony Shoulders is saying our ball.
No, they're giving it to King.
But the officials are saying it belongs to the Admirals as the clock continues to run with 3 minutes and 30 seconds here in the 3rd quarter of play. The ball is on the 24-yard line. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. As we were saying, the Euclid Panthers and the Elyria Pioneers are 5-1 in the conference. Mentor is 6-0. So if the Panthers should manage to beat Mentor, if they should, there would be a 3-way tie for the Lake Division. Julian Smith, once again, the ball carrier.
I think Elyria is still in the hunt for a playoff position. They need a couple of ifs, but they're still in the hunt.
Well, according to the information we have received, already in the playoffs in Lorain County, Midview and Avon Lake. Possibility that game might be played right here at George Daniel Stadium.
That would be a round 2 game.
Round 2. Yeah, they will not be playing each other right off the bat. Keith Wood is back in the lineup on the screenplay. It's Samaskovich to Lavelle Morris. Morris picks up the first down and gets across the 40-yard line.
Another flag.
And there is a flag just inside the 40.
It's Tony's shoulders pointing us against Admiral King, so they have a pushing it back. We'll see if we can see this on the replay. The Admirals just can't stand the prosperity. Every time they get going, either turn it over or this is a second big penalty they've had on a drive. Should leave it about 3rd and 5 maybe.
Here it comes.
We'll see what happens here. A nice screen pass is set up. He's got a lot of jerseys in front of him. Wow. I didn't see it. Called a push in the back.
Nothing that was visible in the vicinity of where the flag was dropped.
I didn't see it, so. But it was thrown by the outside guy, so it had to be someone right near the ball.
10-yard penalty marched off, the ball just inside the 30. It's 3rd and 5 for the Admirals. Samaskovich back to pass. On the screenplay, intercepted! Stanley Robinson making the interception for the Southview Saints. They've got it, 1st and 10, and another opportunity to punch one in.
That might be going to the well one too many times. Came right back to it, and that time it was a center screen in the center of the field instead of throwing out to the flat here a little bit, and Stanley Robinson stepped up and picked it off, and Stanley somehow got his jersey cleaned at halftime. We can see his number.
Might have hosed him down.
All he had to do was stand out on the sidelines for the halftime, and it probably rinsed off.
Some of the probables for the playoffs in our area: Columbia, Clearview, Olmsted Falls, and possibilities: Elyria, North Olmsted, Long Shots, Wellington, and Amherst.
Keith Wood.
Jeff Hughes, the ball carrier.
A nice play by Keith Wood to contain him and hold him down, and so he's fully recovered from his injury a few minutes ago.
Enough to make a 5-yard loss on that play. Ball back now on about the 31-yard line, where it's 2nd down and 15.
Oh, I see Brian Joyner's on the sidelines. Wonder what that's all about. He's usually their starting guard.
John Brown in motion, going to the far side. Messer back to pass, looking someone. He's being chased. He's going to be brought down from behind for another loss on that play. Lavelle Morris in on the tackle, along with Tony Hazlitt, Nick Washington.
Well, I tell you, Ron, the stats in the second half for Southview have to be heading toward the negative numbers. They haven't had much offense here today in the second half, and our statistician to the right is shaking his head in agreement, so I must be pretty close to.
We're down to about 30 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. Southview with just a 5-point advantage, 20-15 at one point. They led 20-0.
Come on, now watch out.
Jeff Hughes in motion. Messer hands it off to Sean Nixon. Sean Nixon coming near side. He is going to be dropped for a loss.
Keith Wood again. Ron, I need to correct you. I think it was 14-7 at one time.
14-7?
Yeah, you had 20-0. I think it was 14-7.
Yes, you're right. You're right. 14-7. And then at halftime it was 20-7.
It's the end of the third quarter.
Anytime I'm wrong, you're allowed to correct me.
I don't like to do that, but I just don't want to get our people confused.
At the end of 3 quarters of play, it's 20 for the Southview Saints, 15 for the Admirals. We'll be back with the 4th and final quarter right after this.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorain.
Carl Dyer punting for the Southview Saints, lands on the 8, takes a nice Saint roll, and it's down on the 1-yard line.
That ball just turned 90 degrees left there.
Adam Figueroa downs it on the 1. The Admirals will have it now 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
They put the turn signal on about the 10, and it turned left on 25th Street and stopped. The Admirals have been down here. They've held them. But one of the problems with holding them is you end up with the ball deep in your own territory. The other nice thing, Ron, is in the last few years they've moved the hash marks inside the numbers so that you're almost in the middle of the field the whole game anymore. Oh, they had him in the backfield and he was able to fall forward. They had him in the backfield.
Short gain on the play, less than a yard. It'll be second down.
Replay here. They hit him in the backfield right there.
Right there.
Joyner hit him in the backfield and.
No, caught him. They were all taken.
That's a good play by Lavelle to get that ball out. It's barely out of the end zone.
Ball carrier this time getting up.
Thought it was Keith Wood.
Either Keith Wood or Jason Samaskovich.
No, it was pitched. I think it was Keith Wood.
All right, Keith Wood then the ball carrier. Gets it out close to the 5-yard line where it's going to be 3rd and 6. The give is to Lavelle Morris. Morris comes out of the 10, the 15, out of bounds on the 16. He picks up a first down for the Admirals.
He
First
broke at
and
least
10.
3 tackles there. Admiral King trapped him and got a big gain from Lavelle. Got the ball outside. New set of downs for the Admirals. You'll see him break this tackle. It's a nice trap. Oh, he flattened him.
Pitch goes to Julian Smith. Smith on the far side, trying to find some running room. Gets up close to the 20-yard line.
Ron, the Admirals have to look at now, with 10 minutes left in the game, of getting the ball this time and maybe one more time. So they have to try to think their options out through what they want to do here.
Ball spotted just inside the 20. Gain of 4 yards on the play, 2nd down and 6. 10 minutes remaining in this ball game. Admirals trail by 5.
They got him that time. They ran that trap, and this time they got him in.
Lavelle Morris just to the line of scrimmage at best. No gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
I think Ron, the rain has slowed down to a downpour now. Looks like it's just down to a sprinkle, though. Not nearly as hard as it was before.
Come on!
Oh, and a bad pitch. Keith Wood got it, but he is going to be tackled for a substantial loss. And the 4th down will give the Admirals a deep punting situation and a critical situation for the long snapper to get that ball to Hannigan.
You know, Ron, I think what they were trying to do was to pull Southview offside. They went to a different cadence. They went to a long one, and Southview didn't bite this time, and bad pitch, and they were lucky that Keith Wood was able to pick the ball up.
Well, one of the defensive linemen kind of lunged slightly forward but got back without going offside. Hannigan standing in his own end zone. Good snap from center. A bad punt. Lands on about the 23, takes an Admiral King roll, and it's down on the 33-yard line where the Saints will now take over 1st and 10. Excellent field position on the Admiral's 33-yard line.
And that's all you want out of your kicker, was to get the ball out of there and let us line up and play. We've contained them so far. The Admirals need one more stand.
Once again, WLCS TV20 says thank you to our program sponsors for our football season: Lorain Palace, Civic Center, Impressions, Tower Boulevard and Oberlin Avenue, Adelphia, the communications people, and First Federal Savings of Lorain with 7 convenient locations in Lorain, Huron, and Erie counties. Or make that in Lorain and Erie counties. The pass intended for Adam Figueroa, broken up by Julian Smith. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Broke that play up very nice. That's a nice defensive play there. Man, you just think that, you know, Southview would just put the ball on the ground and give it to Jeff in 4-down territory, and they keep throwing it, and I don't know.
On the 2nd and 10, Sean Nixon in motion. Messer back to pass. Looking, and lets it go incomplete. The intended receiver, John Brown. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Boy, Ron, I just had a loss for got the ball on the 30-yard line. You've had the Admirals pinned the whole second half, and you just don't put the ball in the hands of Jeff Hughes and let him do something. Admirals are playing good defense and covering this passing game very well.
Well, they're going to you might say they're in 4-down territory, so they'll have 2 opportunities to pick up a first. Messer back to pass on a screen play. Hughes with the ball. Gets across the 15, picks up a big 1st down. Jeff Hughes on that screen pass.
Now, Ron, there's a case where you just put the ball in the hands of your stud back and let him go. Here's the replay. They let the Admirals through, and he kind of bobbled the ball and got control of it and took the ball to the 5. A score here would
well, the ball's on
really
the 11-yard line, so it's 1st and 10 from the 11.
Yep. Quarterback lost it and luckily dove on it for the recovery and gained it.
Gained a yard on the play. So it's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 10-yard line.
You can see he just lost the snap right away, slipped right out of his hands and fell on the ground, and he got there first. And while we're doing that, the clock is moving at 7 minutes.
John Brown coming in motion to the near side. Messer passing to Brown into the end zone. He's on his knees, and he got a touchdown. A short pass. John Brown had to come forward in the end zone, went to his knees, caught that ball, and we've got 6 more points for the Southview Saints.
That was a case, Ron, where the Admiral King defender had no idea where the ball was. He just ran by it, thought it was going into the deep corner, and John Brown was able to turn around, and we'll see it on the instant replay here. Jason Messer drops back, just throws it up. You'll see the defender runs all the way by it.
Nice catch. Good catch by that guy on the ground.
John Brown turns around and catches it. His dad's in the stands saying, I used to do that.
Oh, he did.
Southview Saints going for the 2 extra points. The pitch goes to Jeff Hughes. Hughes coming near side, and he's going to be
nice
stopped
tackle.
shy of the goal line.
That was a nice tackle.
Sergio Solis in on the tackle down there,
I think Nick
along with Lavelle Morris.
And Tyrone Cash, I think, 58.
Also, Tyrone Cash.
That was a great play because I think Jeff had his sights set on that. I thought he was in, turned the jets on, and he just got pushed sideways. That was a big play.
So it's 7 minutes and 1 second remaining in the ball game. The Southview Saints now open their lead by 11 points, 26-15. I kind of get the impression that the Southview High School adults up here in this press box have begun their celebration.
I think so. They're having a little excitement over there. It's led by the girls' basketball coach, Mr. Feldman.
Carl Dyer kicking off for the Southview Saints. Picked up on the 21-yard line by Lavelle Morris. Morris up to the 35, close to the 40.
For those Boston Celtic fans of years ago, that would be Red Auerbach lighting a cigar. I don't know if you remembered that, but he used to sit on the sidelines, and when he knew the game was in hand, he would pull out a cigar and light it up. So that's what the Southview people over there are doing.
They lit up cigars, huh?
Yeah, he did. I don't know if they did, but the women probably in there probably have. You know, an amazing thing is I think the superintendent's in there. I think she's trapped.
I don't think she's smoking a cigar, no.
I don't think she's celebrating either, but I don't think she can get out of there now. And a board member's in there. An Admiral King parent is in there. Probably a ransom note being sent out.
1st and 10 for the Admirals on their own 39-yard line. And it's Lavelle Morris bringing out to the 44, where it's going to be a pickup of 5 and 2nd down and 5.
Now the athletic director went here, but I'm not sure he knows the superintendent's in there.
Samaskovich back to pass, letting go and incomplete. Keith Wood, the intended receiver, on the incomplete pass, 3rd and 5.
I think the rain has stopped completely as we get into the last quarter.
No, it's still coming down.
I was looking on the track.
Very lightly, but it's still coming down. You look up into the lights and you can see it. It's very fine. It's a mist.
There's enough water out there to need an ark. We ain't worried about a mist.
Knew I shouldn't have fertilized my lawn yesterday.
Why not? That's what you're supposed to do, is fertilize it and then water it.
Samaskovich once again back to pass on the screen. Picked up by Sergio Solis and knocked out of bounds, rolling in the mud. A lot of mud on the sidelines, and yet they still come up halfway clean.
Oh, John Brown.
John Brown, he
right side of his body.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway, 1st down picked up by Solis.
And the referee's going to throw the ball out, too. He said this one's done. Stick a fork in it. This ball's done. The Admirals need to hurry, Ron. They can't just they need 2 scores here.
Well, the clock stopped with Solis going out of bounds, 6:06 remaining in the ball game. The ball just inside the mid-stripe in Southview territory. 1st and 10 for the Admirals. And it's dropped by Samaskovich, but he drops on it. He'll lose a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Not only do they lose yards, Ron, they lose 30 seconds to line up and run another play. So comes a clean uniform in the ball game for Southview.
Alan Quattlebaum, a 185-pound sophomore. Keith Wood in motion.
Here comes another screen.
Samaskovich back on the screen. Lavelle Morris gets it. Lavelle up to the 40, past the 40, picks up a first down for the Admirals.
Admiral says if you can do it, we can do it. That's been a play that's been successful for both teams tonight. Again, just lobbing it in the middle and letting the big guys run with it. Here they come with a screen again.
And they really let the Southview Saints pour in, and
Well,
Samaskovich does an excellent job of letting it go just in time and to be able to connect as well. Accuracy, very important there.
The other important thing is to make sure the linemen don't get downfield.
From the 36-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Admirals. And it's another pass. And it's intercepted by Sean Nixon at the 20. Nixon out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Through the mud and onto the track.
Can you see Tony's shoulders down here on the sidelines? Tony is just beside himself. And that should all but do it.
Well, the Southview Saints are pretty elated themselves. They smell this first winning season since 1980.
And Nixon did the smart thing there, Ron, when he got to the sidelines. He just ran out of bounds, so there's no possibility of fumbling the ball, losing it. Just get out of bounds.
1st and 10 for the Saints on their own 30-yard line. We've got 4:42 remaining in the ball game. The Saints leading by 11. Jeff Hughes gets the ball. Jeff Hughes comes out close to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 9 yards. It should be 2nd down and 1.
Tackled by, I think it was Nick Washington. Young man's played a good football game tonight. Kids are playing down to the last minute, Ron. Nobody's given up. No one's thrown in the towel yet. But it's been a great football game for the city of Lorain.
Once again, Jeff Hughes gets the ball, picks up the first down for the Southview Saints. They'll keep possession and keep that clock running. Mike Meinhold making the tackle. Ball spotted on the 42.5-yard line.
You know, I have to believe that the superintendent's enjoying that. She came out and went back in on her own energy, so she must be having a good time in that Southview party room in there. And let it be known it's all female staff members of Southview making all that racket.
No comment. Clock was stopped momentarily as they moved the chains. Continues now. Jeff Hughes gets the handoff from Messer. Gets the ball up close to the 49-yard line. A gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5. Tackle made by Nick Washington.
And the Saints are in no hurry, Ron, now. They'll just take as much time as they can. I know Tony's shoulders will light up a cigar tonight if he wins this one.
You know, discounting again the fact, Barry, that a lot of these players did not get knocked out of bounds in all of the muck that is off the playing area. Those uniforms are still in good, clear condition.
Yeah, we can see the numbers very easily.
Unbelievable what kind of shape this field is in. Kenny Clark, all the kudos in the world. That's applause in Slovak. Kudos. I don't.
I thought it was a little chocolate bar, a little cookie of some kind, but no, that's a kudo.
We've gone from kudos to croutons. The ball is on the 50-yard line, and the officials are calling a timeout. And it's going to be an equipment adjustment on one of the Southview Saints and the
Jeff
defensive
Hughes.
back. All right, we're all set to go now.
Inside of 2 minutes, Ron.
Pitch comes to Jeff Hughes, near side. Hughes with the first down and loses the ball, and it's recovered by the Admirals. And it is Desmond Carter recovering that loose ball.
There's a case where the extra effort, he had broken the tackle, had gotten through, and he was just trying to get as much yards as he can, and he kind of juggled the ball and then lost it on the way down. So
that's the first, what you might consider major, if not the only turnover by the Saints. The only turnover in this ball game thus far, and with 1 minute 55 seconds remaining.
For the younger guys, the ball carriers, he had the ball in the wrong arm, and that's why it was knocked loose. If he had it in his outside arm, the defender might not have been able to get to it.
Admirals have the ball on their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. Samaskovich back to pass. Looking far side, connects. Keith Wood, close to a first down. They're around the 43-yard line. And they are indicating a 1st and 10 for the Admirals on their own 43. Clock stopped as they moved the chains with 1:46 remaining in the ball game. Clock now starts up. Another loose ball and a fumble, and the Southview Saints, they've got it. And that's exactly how it turns out. Coming up with the ball for the Southview Saints is Dante McGill. Biggest guy on the field for the Saints at 6'5". Yeah, bucket watch. Our director, Joe Bach, says, watch out for the bucket. Making reference to...
well, they got it. Here it comes.
There it goes. Here it comes. Right on. You know, like Tony isn't wet enough, and he's got the greatest smile in the world right on his face.
He knew it was coming, and he wasn't hiding from him. He knew it was coming.
Bless his heart. Not the least bit upset. Hugging his players.
He knew it was coming, and just let him do it and get it over with.
Here comes another one. Another bucket. There it goes. Moved out of the way just in time. That's the joy of victory, and the Saints have it. 26-15. They lead by 11. We do have a timeout on the field, needless to say. And this is what the Saints have been dreaming about. Not only a victory against their crosstown rivals, but that first winning season since 1980.
Now that loss against Cleveland Heights really looks big. So we're going to have a bucket replay.
Look at that.
Hey.
Mark Majoris getting the big hug.
What a guy.
Tony Shoulder's a real class act. And we've got some new players in the, no we don't. Jeff Hughes, I saw the clean uniforms and thought we had some new players, but by golly, we still have.
Yeah, we do have one new player. Alec McConnell made the tackle there.
Gain of 4 yards on the play, 2nd down and 6 for the Saints. Ball just inside the 40-yard line. Shaw Nixon in motion, Messer under center, gets the snap, stumbles momentarily, hands it off to Jeff Hughes, gets across the 40, a gain of a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
This should have to line up one more time.
We're down to 32 seconds. Clock is running. Should have one more play.
They may not have to run another one, Ronnie. If he spotted the ball at 30.
And apparently they realize that. They're not even going to make the effort to come out and make another play. So the Southview Saints will wrap up their season on a winning note, 6-4. And there's the end of the ball game. The Southview Saints victorious. The Admirals, with many opportunities, just couldn't make it happen.
Look at Tony standing up on the bench. A good guy. Good things happen to good people.
Well, let's relish this moment for a few moments. And then when our director, Joe Bach, feels enough is enough, we'll take a break in action, and Barry and I will be back to wrap it all up.
Was in another lifetime, one of toil and blood. When blackness was a virtue, the road was.
If we do not take responsibility for saving animals from extinction, we allow a part of ourselves to die with them. Help World Wildlife Fund protect animals in the places where they live by ordering a free action kit. Together, we can leave our children a living planet.
Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm.
Well, before really wrapping it up, let's take one more look at a celebration that the Southview Saints have waited almost a lifetime as far as a young man is concerned to have happen, and here it comes. Majoris and some of the other players grabbing that water cooler, sneaking up behind Tony's shoulders, and pow, right over, and he loves every moment. Look at that. Hands raised in the air, hugs. He is one happy coach. And obviously, as we indicated at the top of our football broadcast this evening, that a win by the Southview Saints over the Admirals tonight would give them their first winning season since 1980, when they were 7-3 back there. You know, these young men on this team tonight were not even figments in their would-be father's eyes at that point in time. 22 years ago. And tonight they made it happen again. 6-4, a winning season, and the first time that Tony Shoulders has been victorious over the Admirals since taking over as head coach. The Admirals, on the other hand, as we indicated, a win for them would have been some redeeming value to an otherwise dismal season. And a season, Barry, as we've indicated, that in so many games when they could have had victory in their grasp, gave it away due to that infamous turnover. And tonight we saw it in the bad snap that went over Hannigan's head, giving Southview the ball on the Admirals' 4-yard line. 2 fumbles that went to the Saints, and points put on the board by Southview. And what more can you say?
And they just they drive the ball down the field. They had their chances. They gave them all they had. The game was a lot closer than the score indicated. Southview scored late with another touchdown. It was a 5-6 point game going into the fourth quarter. So the Admirals gave it all they had. But, again, you just can't keep turning the ball over and giving the ball back to your opponents.
The Southview Saints were first to get on the scoreboard with a touchdown run by Sean Nixon. Jeff Hughes put on the 2 extra points, and then Hughes scoring a touchdown. The extra points failed, and at that point in time, the Saints led 14-0. Then Lavelle Morris for the Admirals put on 6 with Gareth Hannigan kicking the extra point. It was 14-7. Then a Southview pass play from Messer to Hughes covering 41 yards for 6. The 2 extra points again failed. At halftime, it was 20-7. In the second half, it was Keith Wood on a pass from Hannigan on a 4th down play. And Barry, I've never seen anything like this before, where the punter is back there, tosses in what you might consider a screen pass, and Keith Wood rambling some 70 yards for that touchdown. And mine hold on what was at the point of time somewhat controversial did get credit for the attempt on the 2 extra points. So the Admirals climbed to within 5, 20-15, but then it was the Messer to John Brown pass into the end zone, which added 6 more. The Saints failed on the 2 extra points, and that was our final score, 26-15.
It was a great game, Ron. It's a shame that the weather was so bad and a lot of people couldn't come out and watch the game, but they missed a good football game.
Well, thanks to WLCS TV20 and thanks to our outstanding director and producer and cameraman Joe Bach, they will have the opportunity to see it as they've had the opportunity to see the games all season long from George Daniels Stadium. And it would be remiss on my part if I didn't send out some congratulations before we do wrap it up. First of all, thank you to Superintendent Dr. D. Morgan and the spokesperson for the Lorain City Schools, Dean Schnurr, for being cooperative and being able to see to it that these telecasts, number one, could get underway. And to our producer, Director Joe Bach, for all his time and effort and the new nuances that have been introduced into our football telecasts, and we know that the people out there have truly enjoyed that. Thank you to our outstanding athletic director, Ray Ebersol, for all he's done. Thank you to Top Supermarket in the center of Sheffield, to the fine folks at Scorchers at 9th and Broadway. Just so many people who have made this telecast possible, and without a doubt, thank you to you, my partner, Barry Buck, for all that you have.
I've had a great time.
All that you have given, and we certainly look forward, Lord willing, that we can do this again next fall. But it doesn't end sports-wise for TV20 right after the first of the year. We'll be back with you on WLCS TV20 with high school basketball. So this fall we've brought you football, we've brought you volleyball, and we've brought you soccer. And thank you to Ray Bastock and thank you to the fine
Neil Summers.
Neil Summers, thank you very much for my brief senior moment there that you helped me out with, for their great cooperation. So a lot of people.
And Henry Patterson.
And Henry Patterson filled in for you when you were watching Paul McCartney sing away. All right. And Tim Alcorn, of course, doing the junior high game with my partner Barry and
the freshman game
yesterday. So again, thank you to all these people. Until wintertime and high school basketball, I'm Ron Bachelor. Good night, everyone.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools, TV20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.